Vietnam and China are striving to mend relations as tensions in the South China Sea rise. The foreign ministers from both sides have called for more economic cooperation in a high-level virtual meeting. But questions remain over their disputes in the South China Sea. This is the first meeting since the United States formally rejected China's claims to the waters. And Vietnam has welcomed that rejection, calling for peace and cooperation in the region. Now, Tung Ngo joins us live from Hanoi for more on this. Tung, will rising South China Sea tensions hurt Vietnam's other deals with China?
Well, at this moment, it's not clear how the rising tension in the South China Sea would hurt Vietnam's deal with China. But we know at this point that it is going to be more challenging for Vietnam to manage its ties with its giant neighbor to the north, China. Vietnam for decades have been trying to promote strengthened cooperation between the two countries on all fronts and trying to contain and separate differences and disputes and trying not to let those differences and disputes spill over into other areas of cooperation, particularly on economic cooperations. But with China's more assertive actions and moves in the South China Sea, Vietnam has been pushed to a more difficult positions and forced to make difficult choices. So the South China Sea was high on the agenda of the meeting today between Vietnamese and Chinese foreign ministers. But we do not know the specific detail of the discussion. We expect that Vietnam Ministry of Foreign Affairs would release an announcement on the result of the discussion today, but it's been 8 hours since the end of that meeting. We haven't heard anything of such announcement yet. So that might suggest the differences between the two sides in the meeting earlier today. But apart from South China Sea issues, the two countries also discussed ways to strengthen economic cooperation, particularly after COVID-19. The two countries are trying to step into the phase of economic recovery. Vietnam is China's biggest trading partner in ASEAN, and China is also Vietnam's biggest trading partner, with the bilateral trade revenue reported at more than $100 billion last year. However, in recent years, Vietnam's oil and gas activities have been affected economically by China's moves in the South China Sea.
Tung, with the United States taking a more explicit stance on the South China Sea, can we expect Vietnam to be increasingly more assertive towards China?
Well, officials here in Hanoi told me that one of the key priorities of Vietnam's foreign policy is to maintain peace, stability, and the status quo in the South China Sea. So whether Vietnam would take a firmer stance is dependent on whether China would take more assertive moves in the disputed water. And experts told me that even if Vietnam would take firmer stance, Vietnam would try to do so without making China appear that it is losing face. So in Vietnam also, Vietnam government is also facing increasing public pressure from the public because there's a widespread anti-China sentiment in Vietnam. So at the moment, Vietnam has been trying to increase and strengthen ties with the United States, but at the same time, it does not want to appear that Vietnam is strengthening or forming a partnership or alliance with the US to contain China. So it is more challenging for Vietnam to maintain a balance of relations between the world major powers, China and the US.
Yeah, so it does seem to be the case. Thanks very much for that update. Tung Ngo speaking to us from Hanoi.